All right, here we are. Back for another guide here. This is hole number 5, I believe. So let's see what we... Ooh. So we do want to get... Oh, man, this is going to be tough. This is going to be real tough. I want to get over here, but I'm not sure I can with a Pak 4. This is going to have to require a very good shot. I wonder if it bounced. It looks like it does. Oh, boy. That's a risky shot. I'm worried about, maxing out here. It's only going to land right here. It's going to land in the rough there. I'd almost bet anything that it's not going to make it to this spot. So with that in mind, I'm going to essentially, I guess, play a precision shot and just third hop this over. So in terms of ring adjustment, oh, you know what? I'm going to run out of time. Didn't even notice. But that just kind of came from kind of trying to dissect things. With a Pak 4, you're almost going to need some kind of, a Pak 5 maybe just sneaks to that fairway. He's going to have to go, but you almost need a free to play ball. Like you need to have a pay to win ball, because you can see with the minus 45, he's still going to have to go full here, or probably not exactly full because the wind's only 9.6, but at least minimum half power here. But keep in mind, if I had a Pak 5, I would have to go full. You can see it looks like he's going full here. So this is going to kind of show you, even with a Pak, so a Pak 5 has 6 extra yards of carry, and look at this second bounce. You can see it probably made it by about 12, 15 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood. But you got to keep in mind, so I'm going to land 6 yards less. But on top of that, I'm going to have an extra 2 miles per hour of wind in my face as well. You can see this wind's down. So maybe I could on a 10.5 sneak this to that fairway. However, it's probably not something worth even bothering with. It's probably much better to just kind of play a precision shot here and just try to, keep in mind they're going to condense, these bounces are going to condense down. Thinking somewhere around the neighborhood of just over 7 rings in this case. So I did hit a great ball. Let's just see how this runs out. Hopefully it doesn't. It looks like we're still good. I'd rather be over to this left-hand side. So that's why, I did want to make sure if I great balled, it was left and not right. And the biggest reason, if you look at this arrow, you're going to see the more towards the left you get here, straighter this needle gets. So you don't want to miss right. So I was kind of, I was a little bit late on that timing, but it was kind of on me a little bit because I wanted to make sure, for sure that I didn't jump the gun. So it calls me to just be a little bit late on my timing. But you can see with that extra hop, I'm going to be much safer. As I mentioned, I may have hit it. I might have drove it farther than if I tried to full crank that. And it has to do with that second hop potentially clipping the rough. Now, I may be able to get over on a 10.7 there, but that's a very low case for wind. On average, I'm going to be 11.2, 11.5, somewhere in there. And if I get those cases, especially if I get it into the 12, ain't no way that I'm going to be able to get a Pak 4 to full over onto that side. So, we got to keep that in mind. And it's much more important that we get it into this fairway here to really give ourselves a good chance. So what's going to end up happening, we are going to be back a little bit farther. You can see almost just a little bit beyond mid-club here. So I'm thinking of landing somewhere in here and then using some curl, something to the effect of this. At half club, I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of, 13-ish rings at least. So that might be 13 and a half rings. Perfect ball. Still light because I'm pulling up so much towards max, and you can see I just under adjusted that just just a bit. It looks like about 2 rings light. So I'm going to still need to, and it has to do with that wind arrow just kind of straightening up there. It's so straight that wind just kind of really gets very intense. You got to overplay it even more than I just did there. Another thing, I usually try to come in just a little bit on my backspin. I try not to do 3, that full backspin there. I did do it there, but I do try to dial that back a little bit into the 2.5 range to make sure that it still does run out the way that I want. It just kind of slipped my mind a little bit there, but that is typically what I do. And then you also see that I'll typically play some of that wind arrow a little bit through the hole a little bit more. So I did play it a little bit, kind of exactly how I expected it to roll out, as opposed to, playing it, I should have put that ball guide just a little bit more through the hole, knowing that it is going to collapse down quite a significant amount. So keep those tips in mind. Good luck with that hole. Should be a pretty reasonable opportunity for you. So good luck, and I'll see you on 6.